Summer Game Fest dropped a new trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, revealing that it'll release on October 10th for Japan and the 11th worldwide. And not only did the trailer officially confirm Ultra Instinct Goku as a playable character, no leaked icons don't count, it showed us once again that Spike Chunsoft understands why people loved the original 3 Tenkaichi games, and with the return of not only story mode but what if scenarios as well, it's shaping up to be the biggest anime game of the year. So for all of you who weren't around for the original Tenkaichi series and are wondering why all of us 25-plus-year-olds seem to lose our shit every time this game is shown like it's bingo night at the old folks home, well, here's a quick breakdown on why we're so excited for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. When the original Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi, or Sparking for the Japanese version, was released on the PS2 in 2005, it gave us the chance to relive our favorite fights from the shows and fully realize 3D arenas for the first time. And while there had been several attempts to bring the Monkey King and pals to 3D before this, none of them made quite the impact that Sparking did. For the most part, we'd gotten Tekken or Virtual Fighter style 2.5D fighters in games like Dragon Ball GT, Final Bout, Super Dragon Ball Z, which is great by the way, or the Budokai series. And don't get me wrong, while I love the Budokai series and would like to see it make a return next, I think most people would agree with me when I say that Tenkaichi just hit different.
Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
For the first time, we could fly around the arena freely, punch opponents through buildings, and even play as great apes. And while we couldn't transform mid-battle, at least in the first game, it was a worthwhile trade for the new take on the series. I remember being irrationally excited about the idea of being able to charge Ki Blasts for some reason, I'm not sure why. And as the games came out over the next few years, they refined the battle system, added more characters, and gave the series more overall polish. Each game came with various other ways to play, whether it was a world tournament mode, battle challenges, or different takes on the source material story. Tenkaichi 1-2 was probably the biggest jump in quality between games, with Tenkaichi 2 or Sparking Neo then refining the foundations that would lead to 2007's Tenkaichi 3, Sparking Meteor, still being remembered till this day as one of the greatest Dragon Ball games ever made. But as we made the change from the 6th generation of gaming to the 7th, the series would be rebooted into Raging Blast, and while it was meant as a spiritual successor to Sparking and maintained a similar overall gameplay style, the games didn't quite resonate as well with fans. For most, the Raging Blast series felt lacking in one way or another, whether it was a smaller roster of playable characters, the less exciting or non-existent story mode in the case of Raging Blast 2, or slower feeling gameplay. But regardless, the series did well enough to cap off as a trilogy with the misleadingly named Ultimate Tenkaichi, also known as Ultimate Blast in Japan. And so as the years passed, the focus of Dragon Ball games shifted from Blast to titles like Xenoverse, among various other games in different genres, leaving Tenkaichi fans feeling that the series was truly done. The only hope left at the time was for a HD remaster of the series like with the Budokai games, so when Sparking Zero was announced to be a true return to form for the franchise over 15 years later, yeah, we were hyped. But blending in with the crowd, there were those of us who were more skeptical and couldn't fully trust Spike and Bandai to recapture the spark of the original trilogy. After all, Sparking Zero is to Tenkaichi fans as Final Fantasy VII Remake is to Final Fantasy VII fans. It's the single most important game in the franchise and it needs to stick the landing, because if it doesn't, then there's no second chances. And I think the developers realize this. With every trailer or presentation they've released so far, we've been convinced more and more that this is indeed the Tenkaichi 4 we've been waiting for. From the reveal trailer having Goku mimic his transformation from Tenkaichi 3, the speed and combat mechanics from the gameplay trailer being almost one-to-one as the originals, the beam struggles, great apes, stage destruction, fusions, and so on, it was already looking too good to be true. But the biggest thing, at least to me, that really makes me think that Sparking Zero could pull it off is the latest reveal of the story mode, and more specifically that what ifs are making a comeback. But why is it so important? Well, the what if stories from the previous games were always something that I, along with many others, loved. The reasons may differ from person to person, but for me at least, it was because it felt like these wacky scenarios came from someone just like us. A fan who loves the franchise, and I mean, I think you have to be if you're pitching wild scenarios like Devilman saving the Earth from Frieza and King Cold. And from what we've seen so far with Goku going Super Saiyan against Great Ape Vegeta, Vegeta and Trunks' father-son Final Flash against Cell, and possibly even Mr. Satan in the Tournament of Power, the only other things that would really seal the deal would be the return of loading screen minigames, a CG opening, a tournament mode of some sort, and a song from Hironobu Kageyama. But even after saying all this, the reason why I added "so far" in the thumbnail is because the game simply isn't out yet, and as good as it looks, we can't know for sure until we try it for ourselves. Like, imagine we boot up the game and the what if scenarios are Goten as Goku Black, or Goku gets betrayed after falling in love with Zeno's mother and locked in the time chamber for a million years. Okay, maybe not that one. But I still think it's a good idea to approach the game with a level head. Let me know what you're most excited for in Sparking Zero. Maybe you do want to see Goku betrayed, or maybe you want to know as much as I do who the exclusive pre-order character is going to be. Watch it be Monaka. That's it for this one, but if you want to see me talk about other anime games, check these out. Like the video if you liked it, and why not subscribe if you're new, but until next time, take care.